Hello everyone, welcome to the IAS Mentor World History series. In this video, we are starting chapter number 3. It contains Reformation, European conflicts and the Treaty of Westphalia. In this video, we will discuss about a Reformation. It is an interesting chapter and very important chapter also to understand. This topic will give you a completely new picture about the European history. And in fact, it is one of the crucial component in building a new world history at all, completely a new human history. A Reformation, the meaning of Reformation is, this is a socio or a religious reform movement. Once you reform the religion, then automatically society also going to be changing. So it is a religious, it is a religious reform movement. In case of Indian history also, there is something called socio-religious reform movements. During British time period, the pioneer in socio-religious reformation is Raja Ram Mohan Rai, who is considered as the modern man of India. Why Raja Ram Mohan Rai was considered as the modern man of India? Because he fought against the existing social evils. But in India, social evils are connected with religious evils. That's why you have to reform religion before you reform the society. Same thing here also, it is about to change. This reformation is about a religious reformation in 16th century. In 16th century, understand, in the previous videos, we have analyzed how the European history is changing. By this time period, already there was a movement called Renaissance. I am drawing this in a box. Already before this, there was a movement called Renaissance. Renaissance means rebirth. In that, the classical Greek and Latin languages, the classical knowledge encouraged individual pursuit of knowledge. It encouraged individual pursuit of knowledge without depending on others. Intellectual inquiry, humanism, individualism, it promoted. Already before 16th century, in 14th, 15th, 16th centuries, it was going on. Now, as a one of the outcomes of Renaissance, already we have seen in the previous videos, one outcome of Renaissance is scientific discoveries. Many discoveries happened. And another outcome of Renaissance is the age of discovery. Many new geographical territories were discovered. Another outcome of Renaissance is this Reformation. Identify this. One of the impact of Renaissance. Impact of Renaissance is, one is the scientific discoveries, another one age of discovery, another one is a Reformation. Scientific level, geographic level, and this is a religion level. Now, could you understand the impact of Renaissance? That's why I have explained very clearly, starting with Renaissance. Everything is connected. Please follow it. Now, what is this? A Reformation. Reformation is about religious reformation, means what kind of reformation is required? Why? What kind of problems were there in the religion before Reformation? To understand it, a Reformation here, they are talking about a Reformation in Christianity. Reformation in Christianity. In the first place, how Christianity emerged in Europe. This is the map. What is the birthplace of Jesus? What is the birthplace of Christianity? This is the location. The place what today called Israel, Palestine region, that was the region. Starting from that location, it was the area where Jesus was living. After the death of Jesus, the ideas spread all the way across. In fact, immediately after the death of Jesus, Christianity reached India also. There were 12 disciples of Jesus. One of the disciples of Jesus, known as Saint Thomas, he took the idea of Jesus or the gospel of Jesus to this area, towards the eastern side. Even today also, there are certain Christian groups within Kerala. He reached Kerala. He reached northwestern part, Takshila region. Then he came down to Kerala region. He died near Madras, near Chennai. In Kerala, some people adopted the Christianity during the time period of Saint Thomas. Today also some groups are there. They were called Syrian Catholic Christians in Kerala. That shows how Christianity and India is connected. Since beginning itself, idea is there. Do not confuse that. Sometimes you may have some kind of belief that Christianity came to India with the British Empire, British Raj. No. Long before British got Christianity, this much before British got Christianity, the idea of Christianity came to India, Saint Thomas. Like this, his 12 disciples went to different directions and they started spreading the gospel of Jesus. One of the disciples is Saint Peter. Saint Peter. He was one of the disciples, like Saint Thomas came to this side, towards European side went to Saint Peter. Like that, in all directions people were going. At this time, what was the empire? At that time it was there. All these areas were under Roman Empire. Roman Empire. You see Jesus always in crucifixion form. He was crucified. Who crucified Jesus? What was the empire? Which kingdom was there at that time? That was Roman Empire. Local governor of Roman Empire crucified Jesus on the charges of sedition, that he is promoting the enmity among the people against the state and anti-state feeling is creating. That was the charge against him. That's why at that time the punishment was death penalty through crucifixion. Roman Empire. One of the disciples, Saint Peter, went to the capital of Roman Empire, that is Rome. This is how the Christianity spread. Now we are talking about Reformation. Reformation means, this is Reformation, religious Reformation, the Christian Reformation. That's why we are starting the story since beginning of Christianity. After that, what happened? He came to this area. He reached Rome, and here he started spreading the idea of Christianity, and he died there. In Bible, what is the book of Christianity? That is Bible. In case of Islam, that is Quran. In case of Christianity, Bible. Bible is considered as the God's word. Jesus, whatever Jesus told, that is there in Bible. In one of the sentences of Bible says, Peter, one of the favorite disciples of Jesus, Jesus gave him the keys of heaven. Keys of heaven. Understand this one. That is why Peter and the successor of Peter became so powerful in Christianity. What is this? Keys of heaven. In one of the sentences of Bible it said, Peter was given keys of heaven. That means if Saint Peter is satisfied with a person, Saint Peter can open the gates of heaven for that particular person. And naturally, if this is the story, if this is the sentence, this is the belief of the people, now naturally the power of Peter, Saint Peter, will be more than any other disciple. Naturally. After that, a new institution emerged on top of Saint Peter. A new representative called Pope started representing the Christian faith in this point of time and in this world. Pope is considered as a representative of the Peter. Now it is like this. Jesus, one of the favorite disciples of Jesus, Saint Peter, he holds the keys of heaven. Now, Pope is represented as the representative of Peter. Now people started believing. Now that means if Jesus has given keys of heaven means he must be very powerful and very pure. And now if someone is representing Peter means Saint Peter means Pope is also considered close to God, close to Saint Peter, close to God. That's why Pope is considered, and in fact Pope is considered, the term Pope emerged from the term father. Pope is considered like godly figure on the earth. People believe he is representative of God only. That is the kind of belief developed over a period of time. And all these things are happening how many years ago? 2000 years ago. This is the lifetime of Jesus is 6 BC to 33 CE. After the death of Jesus, Saint Peter went here in 1st century, 2nd century, 3rd century CE. By this time period, this institution, Pope and Church, became very, very powerful at this point of time. In one of the case, Roman Empire itself declared official religion of Roman Empire is Christianity. Because Roman emperors have seen Christian faith as a unifying factor. For the ruler, law and order problem should not be there. Stability should be there. Nobody should question their authority. In this case, there was a ruler called Constantine. He adopted Christianity and he felt that if he make it as official religion, then everybody will not question his authority. Peace will prevail in his empire, and it also unify the people so that people will not fight in the name of religious differences. That's what his intention, and it became successful also. It became very important unifying factor in Europe. So far, it appears to be very good side of religion. This religious idea helped many different tribes, many different religious people unify together under one banner called Christianity. And it started civilizing people. Civilizing people means when it comes to tribal ideas, when it comes to tribal groups, always warring groups, always wars, violence. When it comes to Christianity, it talks about peace, love, brotherhood. That's why Buddhism, Jainism flourished in India. Why? When Buddhism, Jainism was emerging, so many wars and battles were taking place, so much violence was taking place, and in the name of religious rituals, so much violence was taking place through rituals also, in religion also. Buddhism and Jainism offered very simple truth, non-violence, peaceful, love, brotherhood principles. It appealed to the people. More number of people joined Buddhism and Jainism. In case of India, in the Indian context, same is the case with this side also. Before Christianity, when people were having a lot of violence, chaos, then Christianity offered them peace, love, brotherhood, unity. That's why whether it is Islam, whether it is Christianity, whether it is any kind of religion, if there is any kind of open principle and liberal principle, then only it will become acceptable. Now we are talking about Reformation. Reformation, within this, already this is reformed version only. Why again in 1500s, in 16th century, why again this religion required Reformation? Because from 400, 500 CE to 1500 CE, something has happened. In the 1000 years, or 1500 means in the 1500 years of Christianity journey, something else happened. Some kind of evils spread within Christianity. That is what people wanted to reform it. What are those? Now, because of this, it became unifying factor. Is it clear so far? Now, let us. Gradually, now Pope became very, very important figure in common people's mind. Christianity became very acceptable idea. Common people started feeling that Pope is very important. We should respect Pope because Pope is holding the keys of heaven. And if we satisfy Pope, automatically we will reach the heaven. Otherwise, if Pope is not happy with our conduct, then we will not, heaven's gates will not be opened. We will reach the hell. People are afraid of hell than kings also. Even kings are also afraid of the hell. That's why kings also used to come and take the blessings of Pope. Now, by thousands, is it clear so far? This is how the religion is becoming more and more popular and powerful. Not only popular, powerful in every sense over a period of time. Now, by 400 CE, Christianity is spreading in Europe. Spreading in Europe. Now, by 900 CE, Christianity became wide-ranging. Masses accepted Christianity. Even rulers also wanted the blessings of Pope. Blessings of Pope. That means if there is a contender 1, contender 2, King A, King B, Pope is there. If Pope say that I am accepting A as the legitimate ruler, then all people will follow him. Why? Because people see Pope as God only. That means God's blessings are there. Now, if we follow this king, automatically we also reach heaven. Otherwise, by defying Pope, by defying this king, and if we support this person, we will reach not heaven, but we will reach the hell, and we are afraid of it. That's what hell and heaven concept in every religion. It is the, in case of Hinduism, moksha, liberation, spiritual guide. Now you see how the spirituality and the religion playing politics here gradually. But that is what by 900, religion is entering into politics very gradually and a very systematic manner. By this time period, a new empire emerged in Europe that is known as Holy Roman Empire. Understand this? Holy Roman Empire. In this Holy Roman Empire only Reformation is about to take place. Reformation. What happened in between then? Pope is now gradually entering into politics. The new empire also came to be known as Holy Roman Empire, because now this emperor also should take the blessings of Pope. Pope, whoever Pope supports, he will become the emperor. Now common people are so much attached to the religion. Whoever Pope says, he is the legitimate person. If people don't follow that particular ruler, then they will reach the hell, not the heaven. So that is how, with the fear of hell and heaven, now they are commanding the minds of the people. That's why in the words of Karl Marx ideology comes in 1850s. They are, by that time, people are going to attack the religion like anything. He used to say, religion is the opium of the masses. Once they start consuming, once they start believing in religious idea, they will lose rationality, they will lose any kind of logic. They simply, very blindly, they start following whatever they started following. Blind faith. That's what? Blind faith. That's how throughout history, religion played dominant role, even including today's condition also. Still, on the name of religion, politics are being played. If in 21st century itself people are playing politics on the name of religion, you can imagine in those times what kind of impact this religion was having on the common mind. Holy Roman Empire, by 900, by 1000, By 10th century, by 10th century in Europe, Holy Roman Empire emerged. Now Pope and politics clubbed by this time. Now you can imagine in another 200, 300 years what is going to happen. Meanwhile, a new kind of powerful religion also emerged here, that is Islam. The same area. Now Pope means, this is Pope. Now Pope is considered as God's representative. Now the birthplace of Jesus, birthplace of God is in this area, Jerusalem. Jerusalem is very important area for Christianity. That's where Jesus was living. Now if Pope is saying, I am the representative of God, but now the home of God, Jerusalem, is now not under Christian ruler. Now it is under Islamic ruler. Islamic ruler. Now you see in the name of religion how violence is getting created. Now Pope is considering representative of the God, but the home of God itself is not under Pope, not even under Christian king. And now it is another rival religion, that is Islam. Because this is the place where Saudi Arabia, Islamic religion emerged. It is even more liberal initially. Now more and more people started adopting this one. Now Pope considered this as a threat. It is a questioning on his authority itself. Now this is where, to liberate Jerusalem from Islamic rulers, even they sponsored something called holy wars. Identify this. What religion says, whether it is Islam, whether it is Christianity, they both talk about peace. They both talk about unity. They both talk about brotherhood. Individually, they are preaching these things. But when it comes to the politics, when it comes to the territory, when it comes to the place, competition, now they are not worried about this peace at all. Now they want to shed blood and they are calling holy wars. The name is crusade. And this side, they started calling it as jihad. Holy war, holy war. In the name of God. Now they are literally playing politics only. Now this is where Reformation means this only. Now when someone is violating violence, in the first place, Christianity was adopted by people because it is talking about peace. Now the same Christianity is now with holy wars and in the name of crusades. If it is shedding more blood, now people naturally going to question it. Crusades, multiple crusades, first time, second time, third time, like that, it so on, 10th time, crusades were happening. On one hand, now you see, for the sake of Jerusalem, lot of bloodshed took place on both sides, Islamic side as well as this side. This is how Pope is now becoming more and more powerful. Pope is even mobilizing the army. Now you see, what is this? Army is being mobilized. He is blessing the king's politics. Initially, the Pope is about spiritual guide. He must be a spiritual guide. Now, beyond spiritualism, now he is entering into politics, conflicts, military, and other elements. By 1500, now I am going to write, this is the kind of condition that emerged. All people were following Christianity. It doesn't mean everyone Christians. When new ideas are there, before Islam, Christianity was there. Before Christianity, Judaism was there. Now in Europe, Christians are also there. Jewish people are also there. Judaism followers are there. And Islamic followers also there. So many other tribal religions are also there. But the majority religion was Christianity. It was unified under Pope and church authority. Church from 400s, 500 onwards, gradually these churches everywhere adopted. Everywhere Christian churches were created, and all these churches were connected towards Rome. Rome is the place of Saint Peter. Pope is the representative of Saint Peter. That means Pope is controlling all these areas. But in respective areas, kings were also there. There are kings. Within the kingdoms, churches are there. And these churches were connected towards Pope, not to the king of that area. And in fact, even these kings also were ready to take the blessings of Pope, because whoever blessed him, if Pope bless any ruler, and he is seen as a legitimate ruler. So that means what is happening here? Here people are connected not to the kings, but to the religious authority, that is Pope. That's why even kings also don't want to have any kind of conflict with the Pope, and they just submit to Pope. As a result of this, by 1500s, this is the system that evolved. I will write here. This is Europe. This is Rome, where Pope, it is the place of Pope. Across Europe, churches were established. Across Europe, churches were established, even including this area also, England. But now everyone connected with center of Christian world, that is Catholic Christianity. Monasteries, local churches, they were all connected towards Rome. This is how Rome used to regulate the affairs of entire Europe. One element. Now, as a result, what happens? In this area, people were afraid of religion. People were more afraid of hell than their kings. These monasteries and churches, in the name of spiritualism, what is their service here? Their service is to provide guidance to spiritualism. What is the text? The text here, Roman Latin text. So the Latin Bible was used as the reference. Church priests, they used to interpret this Latin Bible for the spiritual guidance of the local people. This is what happening. Good. And their base is local church. Common people used to offer whatever they have, little resources they used to offer. Church also, in the name of providing service, they used to collect taxes. And through these taxes, they used to provide education also. What is that education? Religious education. That is, they teach morals, values, Bible. That's where they teach geocentric. Earth is the set center. This universe is created by God. All these stars are heavenly bodies created by God. There is nothing like a natural force, only God. God has created, that is what? That is the kind of education it was giving. Taxes collected. Now, over a period of time, what happened? Over a period of time, church institution became very, very powerful. It became very, very powerful. They used to collect so much. They became so powerful, and they earned a lot of wealth. Church was having a lot of lands. Now, church fathers everywhere, they are now misusing this wealth and this land. Instead of using for spiritual welfare of the people, they are now misusing. Now, this is where the problem is emerging. Misusing their power. People are blindly believing them. Now, whatever they are saying, they started gaining more and more power. they started living in luxurious life. In one of the cases, one of the pope, he started making pregnancies, even children also. All sorts of evils were happening in the name of religion. They were collecting taxes. Lot of money was land wealth or the taxes. Wealth is flowing towards Rome, even though here people are poor, but still they were paying taxes to the church. Why even kings also could not do anything? Even kings also, when it comes to religion, they are even making marriage ceremonies. Marriage. Suppose if there is a king has mother and father. If king did not support Rome, and one day Pope may say that this king not born out of legitimate marriage alliance, now this king is illegitimate, means now people will revolt against that king. That's why even kings also afraid. Why to have enmity with them? Let us just go as per the wishes of Rome. That's why kings also, whatever taxes they collected, 10% of it was flowing to Rome. And they got so much land, something called papal state emerged here. Papal states emerged. And these papal states, by recruiting local churches and priests, clergy, they used to control entire Europe. Now, even within the kingdoms also, they used to play the politics. Their representatives are there. And if they want any kind of, here, so many contenders will be there for the royal. If there is any succession war, one of the contender will come to Rome and he will bargain some kind of agreement with Pope that if I become the king, I will give this much land. Then Pope will say, yes, he is a legitimate person. Then he will decide who is going to be the next ruler. In that way, now he is not focusing on the spiritual evils, luxurious life, playing politics, amassing lot of wealth. And within the church also, who will be posted in church hierarchy? The Pope related or the church related, the brothers, sisters, and the nepotism. Nepotism. Now, as a result, what happened? Now, corruption. If somebody come and confess their sins, they used to absolve all those sins. And how they absolve? Whoever pay more, they will absolve. That means they are selling the conduct certificates. It is known as indulgences. If a person commit a lot of crime and they will come and they will pay money to church, then church will absolve them. And church will get a lot of money in return for that. Now, in the name of religion, what they are doing? They are doing business, they are doing politics, not the religion. The spiritual life has gone, non-spiritual life, all evils entered into church. Naturally, this is where a reformation expected. People started questioning. And one day people started saying that, why should I go to the church father? Because he is more sinful than me. I am less sinful. Church fathers are more sinful than me. And what I can do? Why should I confess in front of the church? That kind of evils corrupted. Because a lot of wealth, a lot of politics and luxurious life, now gradually spiritual life backseat, materialistic life front seat. As a result, people are living in poverty. Generally, when they are in disease, when they are poverty, people look for God. And the God representative is Pope, but Pope condition is like this. Now they lost hope on this. It is the time period. Some people offered alternative. That by this time, because of the Renaissance, by 1500s, through Renaissance, that means rebirth, individual inquiry started. They started directly printing this Bible into local languages. Some people, education increased. Gutenberg invented printing press. Lot of books were created. Now they need not to depend, education improved. As a result, they need not to depend on the intermediary between God and people. They themselves started reading the Bible. And when they themselves started reading the Bible, they could see a lot of contradiction between what church is doing, what really Bible is saying. Bible never said rituals. Bible never said selling like this. Bible never said all these evils. But Pope are misinterpreting for their benefit. They are doing this. Now they started questioning. They started protesting. This is called protest against existing religious idea. Within the Catholic Church, there were some kind of protest. Now more and more people started gaining support because now everywhere people are seeing the same kind of evils. Now these protests started getting more and more prominence. They came to be known as Protestants. Protestants. Now this is called a Reformation. A Reformation means what? They said Bible, individual can read and understand. You do not require any kind of intermediary to understand Bible. And they told direct connection with the God through faith. If you have faith towards God, that is enough. You don't require any rituals. No rituals are required. This is called Reformation. Original ideas, original tenets. Any kind of new religion comes, this is what? A simplified version. That is called a Reformation. A Reformation. Martin Luther. There were some leaders. I will show some of the leaders here. Here you can see some of the leaders like Martin Luther. Martin Luther in Germany, John Calvin, France or Switzerland, and Henry VIII in England. They started questioning the existing evils and they started creating their own version. They told salvation, moksha, you can attain by your own. If you have strong faith on God, you yourself will attain salvation. You don't require any kind of money also, rituals also not required, and you need not to go to church. Now already kings who were waiting for this kind of opportunity, they also gave support to these kind of Protestant people, to these rebels you can say. And now when the kings themselves are supporting them, now they could freely propagate their idea. As a result, what happened in Europe particularly, the southern side Pope is very popular. The northern side, kings started following this Protestantism. One day, Martin Luther went to one church and he listed out 95 questions and he pasted on the wall of church. And he asked the church father that, you answer me, why these many things? When Bible is saying something, why you are behaving like this? It became a beginning point of the Protestant movement. This came to be known as a Reformation. Could you understand this? The moment the Reformation started, now it became a liberation movement for many people. It led to individual freedom of religion. People started demanding freedom of religion. If someone go away from Catholic Christianity, no one should be punished, no one should be hunted, no one should be harassed in the name of heresy. Earlier, if somebody questioned the church, they were hunted in the name of heresy. Anti-God, anti-church, anti-pope. Now they don't have any kind of existence. That's why they were punished. Now people started demanding freedom of religion. Religion is our private affair. If we want to follow Catholic Christianity, we will follow, or if we don't want, we will not. We will do in our own way. Freedom of religion started. Now as a result, within Catholic Christianity also, naturally when it is happening, in the Catholic Christianity also, Reformation happened. That is known as Counter-Reformation. Counter-Reformation. That means within Catholic Christianity also, within church also, they also started reforming. They also removed some of the evils. In this way, religious reformation started. It is a process of purifying the religion so that people will not be harassed in the name of religion. religion is a spiritual guide. It should be given, people should be given freedom of religion. That's where gradually in European history, from 1500s, the Martin Luther time period is 1517. In 1600, 1700, the movement of freedom of religion increased. And today, we are calling state is separate and religion is separate, something called secularism. Religion is a private affair. State is something different, which will take care of every religion, whether it is Christian, Muslim, Jews, Hindu, anything, Buddhism, Jainism, it doesn't matter. All are equal in front of the state, but religion is a private matter. Secular states emerged. One of the biggest contribution of Reformation is this one. I hope you are clear with this. This is how Reformation started. But before this, in our history, but this Reformation was not a peaceful process. There were European conflicts also in the name of this. When someone is protesting, someone wanted to preserve that, and some kings also divided on these differences. Europe went to wars in the name of protecting religion. That is the next one, European conflicts and Treaty of Versailles. For now, this is what Reformation. I hope you are very clear. It is an attempt to reform the social or existing evils within the church. That's what Reformation. Are you clear? Thank you very much. In next video, we will try to see how the wars and battles happen in the name of religion. Thank you. Thank you very much.